Hi guys, so today we're going to talk about how to use sound effects inside your game. Um, there's a little bit to it. It's not actually super tough, but we'll look at how to do a couple of different things. Alright. So playing sound effects is probably a little more complicated than you would think because Unity supports 2D and 3D sounds. So 3D sounds have a position. So if you think about it, you play a first-person shooter, you hear somebody walking over to the side of you. Um, that's a 3D sound. To do that, you need positioning information for the listener, you need positioning information for the source, and then you need, of course, the clip that you're going to play. So there's three parts, just like I said. There's an audio clip, which is the thing you're going to play. There's the source, which is the object emitting the sound, and then there's an audio listener, which is the person hearing the audio. So the audio listener is pretty much taken care of for you. It's by default when you create a main camera, it's attached to the main camera. So that part is almost always done for you. What you really have to look at is the audio clips, which you've already talked about importing, and the audio source, which is the object that emits the sound. So creating an audio source is pretty straightforward. All we have to do is right-click on the object and we can either right-click on the object or we can either click on it in the inspector and click Add Component, and we add an audio source, and then we set the audio clip that we want to use. So let's look at an example of this. So here is a sample scene. I'm just using a sample scene here. So this is one of the art packs that we have. So if you look at this police car, I've got this thing selected here. So I can either right click on it and click audio source, or I can go over here and I can click add component. I know the font's a little small for you guys and I apologize. Make sure when you're watching the video that you're setting it to 1080p in YouTube, because by default YouTube sets it to 480p, which you really can't read. 1080p and full screen it should be better. It's not going to be perfect, but I can't find a good way to increase the font size on Unity. So, alright, so we added a new component to this, and you see it's an audio source component. So of course we can change the name, transform, whatever. The most important thing here though for us is this audio clip. So for the audio clip, we can just drag in one of the audio clips that we've already defined and drop it in that thing. And so this is one of the anime ones that we were looking at earlier. So there's some options that you want to look at. Do you want to run it through a mixer? We'll talk about that later. Mute it, bypass effects, etc., etc. The most important is probably play on wake, which means as soon as I run this scene, it's going to play it. So let's see if you can hear this. Probably you can. So when I play it, it plays it once as soon as I run the game. I can also put this on a loop. And you hear the extremely surprised anime girl talking. Sorry, I'm an anime fan. So that's what loop and play on wake does. So that's one way that you can do this. So this is more along the lines of something that would be making sound all the time, like say a car engine or the wind, or something that makes sound like all the time in your game. The other thing that you want to do sometimes though is you're going to want to trigger your sound in the code itself. So we can trigger the sound without specifying the audio source. So we just can add an audio clip to the script. So the easiest way to see that is just to pop this open in Unity. So let's look in Unity, and you see I've already made this audio test script for us. And if we double click this, let me see if I can zoom in on the code to make the font size a little more readable. Alright, so if you look at the code for this, so basically it's pretty straightforward. I don't actually need this one. Oh wait, that's the one I'm going to play. So you can actually define multiple audio clips if you want to. We have one sound source here in our script. And then in the update function, I'm just giving you an example of how to actually call it. So you have your audio source, you have your audio clips, which are the ones that you can play, and then to play an audio clip programmatically, all we do is call soundSource.playOneShot enemy sound, and this is going to play one time the clip that we specify. And we can actually specify multiple clips. We don't have to change it in the settings. We don't have to do anything with this. We just have to call this play one shot with the clip that we want to play. And so let's see how you set those things up in the IDE. So if we scroll down here, oh, let me add this script. So I'm going to add this script to this object, right, like we always do. And now when you look at the script, you're going to see our audio test script right here, which I've just closed. It has an audio source. So the audio source in this case, remember we attached an audio source to the police car already. So we're going to drag the police car over here, and our audio source will be, assuming that I actually assigned an audio source to this. Let me see. Oh, I didn't create the audio source. Sorry. Create audio source. Oh, there's already an audio source in here. Oops, sorry. Let's go back to this. So we can just drag this audio source into here, right? Now it's an audio source, and this is the one that we've attached to the police car. You should be able to drag the whole thing in there, but for some reason it doesn't work. You have to you have to drag the specific audio source. And then for the clips, you see we have the two clips, the hit wall sound and the hit enemy sound, and we can just drag these things into here. And now the sounds are set, and in our script, on update, it's going to call, let me go to this audio source. All right, everything is turned off. So if we run this thing, because we're calling it an update, it's going to call it every time the update loop occurs, which is going to be way too many times. So that's how you one, attach, for example, ambient noise or background noise or continuously running noises to objects, and two, how you programmatically call objects based on events. And so what you would do is, instead of doing this in update, most likely what you're going to do here is in some event, for example, a collision, you're gonna in your code for your collision, when you call collision on the object, you're gonna use the sound source that you've already set up here, and you're gonna call the hit wall sound, the explosion sound, the whatever sound you're gonna use, and that's basically it. That's all you have to do. So next time we're going to continue talking about sound. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks everyone for your time.